Hey, welcome to another episode of The Pastor and the Professor. And the highlight of this is the professor. Because he speaks French.
Yeah,
And
no.
he's amazingly intelligent and I just sit in awe.
No, and if he's had any intelligence, he'll say nothing at this point because anything he does say will disprove what you said, including, I don't even know the French for no right now. But anymore, if you watched us before, we've had a little fun for the last couple of weeks with my very, very limited French, and that was 20 years ago, and it has declined ever since. That, by the way, we did have a biblical reason, though. If I remember, it was, if you don't practice your language skill, you'll lose it. As salt can lose its saltiness.
Correct.
So we had a biblical reason for saying that. So
and
there we go.
You studied some French for your doctorate, but
Right.
then you put it under the bushel.
Oh, yeah. As soon as I pass that qualifier, I'm done.
Good night.
Yeah, good night. So anyway, but we do appreciate you joining us. We thank you if you've been with us for many times or before. But, hey, if you're new with us, thank you very much, and we appreciate you joining us. We're in Matthew 5, and I think we're going to try, we'll take a run at 17. We'll at least get that.
Mm-hmm.
And there is like a paragraph, you might say, 17 to 20.
Yep. Should we read that out?
Sure, maybe we should.
Yeah, let me do that. So Jesus, after he's done the Beatitudes, and we talked about be salt, be light, then he comes to this. He says, do not think I've come to abolish the law or the prophets. I've not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For truly, I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not an iota, not a dot will pass from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore, whoever relaxes one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven.
Never.
This is a turning point.
Okay, how so?
Because, Jesus, there's always this confrontational thing with the Pharisees.
Right.
They're always doing things wrong.
Right.
And the people are going, yay.
Yeah, tell them.
But now all of a sudden he says, these guys have been doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
You got to be more righteous
Yes.
than them. So, holy cow.
Yeah. So instead of saying, well, they're useless, don't learn anything,
Yeah.
he says, you better learn everything they've done and then go beyond in some way. And exactly, what you just did. They must have said, how in the world?
Yeah.
Why would you want that?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't make any sense. So, let's back it up to don't think that I came to destroy the law. Why would they either think that, or why would they be saying, I sure hope that's why he came. I hope he came to say, don't worry about that.
And we're going to find in the Gospels, he heals on the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Right? They're walking through the fields and they're pulling off the heads and they're
right,
and they're eating and the Pharisees are saying, "Oh wait, no, that's breaking the rules. That's the Sabbath,
right?
And you can't work on the Sabbath."
Right.
Is Jesus talking about the 600 rabbinical rules, or is he talking about the 10 Commandments that are written on our hearts and issued on stone tablets?
Yeah, I always thought it was when he says, I did not come to destroy the law or the prophets, essentially Mosaic law, 10 Commandments, and then really, how would you?
Yeah.
How could I possibly dismiss Moses' directions? Let's say Exodus, the commandments, and then the repeating of them in Deuteronomy.
Right.
If you have the law, and the law again, because I'm sure our friends know Deuteronomy means the second giving of the law, the second law. How impossible would the Messiah say, that was a mistake, or that was then, this is now.
That's the Old Testament.
Right.
This is the New
This is
Testament.
new. And now we don't need that. I mean, I think there's part of us that says, I would rather be, in a law either less, that is diminished law, or a law none world. But then right away I get like, wait a minute, that would mean everybody has no law.
Right.
And my neighbor is camping out in my driveway, or, and
Right.
it's a,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, talking about law and prophets, really what he's saying is it's the scriptures.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So it's the first 5 books of the Bible, it's the writings. I'm the fulfillment, which
Right.
when we get to Easter afternoon and he meets up with the two disciples on their way to
Yeah.
Emmaus, he opens to them
The scriptures.
the scriptures. Oh, weren't our hearts burning within us?
And he
when
told us all that was about himself in it.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. And it's how it's now fulfilled.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you bring up a wonderful point. The Pharisees got very
First
angry.
one ever.
No. They get so angry when, remember with the paralytic, he says, your sins are forgiven.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't say that. You can't do that. You can't dismiss sins, and then they're going to be very upset, but you can't say you fulfilled all righteousness.
Yeah.
He goes both ways. I can dismiss sin from you. I can fulfill everything demanded of the world and of you. And the Pharisees are stuck in a petulant middle,
Yes.
saying, you can't do that, and you can't do that. Well, what's left?
Yeah.
Yeah, their own little brand of righteousness.
Oh, I was going to
which goes
say,
nowhere.
the only thing left is them.
Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's right. They voted everybody else off the island until they're the only ones left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see how that works out
They
for
would
you,
have
boys.
loved the rich young ruler.
Oh, you're taking me there. The man who says, I've done it all.
I've done all of that. Even, I like this part, is when he says, I've done all of that even as a youth, when you didn't
Right.
expect it.
Right, exactly. So you were the perfect first grader,
Yeah.
the ideal eighth grader. Oh, you were it. And then Jesus never confronts him with
no.
what happened last Thursday or something like that,
yeah.
you know. No, he says, okay, let's just go with that. Right, but you only have one more thing. He must have loved the one thing.
Oh, that's it.
One thing? That's all I've got? Bring it on. Well, and we know he
Get
couldn't-
out of yourself.
Right, he couldn't let go of his riches. I always
Yeah.
love the irony of that. And he went away sorrowful, for he had great riches.
Yeah.
Doesn't that hit our world
It
like,
is.
wait a minute,
And Jesus looked at him and loved,
loved him the only time. Yeah,
Isn't it?
that's it? Isn't that a marvelous thing? Well, so he came to fulfill the law and the prophets. And as you just said, everything written about him, the law and the prophets, here we should know. So he's going to fulfill that. And instead of like, oh, is that all? I think that should say, wow, finally someone did it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think it went
that's good.
over their heads? Did they fully embrace it? Because he's getting ready for what's coming. You know, but don't be
Yeah.
angry, don't lust, and
Right.
all of this.
That's good. I don't know. Did this verse strike them as like, wait, you're going to do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But would we even recognize it when he does it? Is it on a level that I can't grasp? Anyway, I'm thinking of, by the way, this is not George Strait or country music. I'm thinking about Matt Damon in the movie Good Will Hunting,
Okay.
where there's that impossible mathematical problem, and he solves it. And remember, he's the custodian.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he solves it. Would an ordinary person realize that's the answer? Or is the question and the answer so deep, right over my head, and I am no judge of it? See, there's got to be a part of his fulfilling all righteousness, and he's fulfilling that must have levels and nuances you and I can't
No.
judge.
No.
You know, and you and I are not in a place to judge and say, did you really do it all? Let's look.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
And nobody's thinking, you know, I'll bet you he ends up on a cross.
Yeah, no, because we finally found someone who did it.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and either in some vain way say, show me how to do that, or
Yeah.
could you fix my problem?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
here's the one I'm working on. I can't get it.
You know, you say in a vain way, show me how to do that. There are certain religions who say, well, Jesus came here to be a model that you can follow. And
Yeah.
if you follow that model, he'll show you how to do it. You can be righteous, and off you go to heaven.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
I mean,
Then we steal the glory from him
yes,
and put it on ourselves.
but the futility of
Oh.
that.
yeah.
Can you really do that? And then remember, if you do that, how'd that work out for him? How did the world treat someone who
Yeah.
lived a perfect life?
Yeah.
You want to go all the way, then you see where he's going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, maybe not.
Let my boys, one be at the right and one on the left when you come into your glory. And I wish Jesus would have said it. Hey, okay.
Sound fine.
Want to be nailed to a cross?
God,
Hey,
yeah. And then,
come
by the way,
on up.
you're going to have to raise yourself after 3 days.
Yeah.
Might be a trick
Yeah.
for you to do.
A little
Yeah.
challenging.
Yeah. So
Yep.
he fulfills, we know in the larger context that he is doing this in our behalf.
Yep.
It's not a selfish treasure
Nope.
Like, oh, look what I did. I won the race in a time no one had ever done. Hey, I'm keeping the trophy. He parts that trophy out to all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And intentionally leaves the glories of heaven to come into a world that's steeped in sin, that he knows he's going to do the right thing and get the punishment.
Because you and I live in a world where we have hope that it'll be better. If we're dealing with somebody, they'll be better today, or they'll be better tomorrow, or they'll be, John says, no one needed to tell him about men, for he knew what lies in the hearts of men.
Yeah.
What a verse. In other words, he says, I know what's going on. I know they're not going to be better tomorrow. There'll be some who love me, but the plotters are plotting, and they will do, and we'll let them do what they're going to do.
And even the ones who love me are, when he comes down from Mount Transfiguration, and he finds out that his disciples who remain in the bottom, they couldn't get rid of the demon from the boy.
No.
And how long do I have to put up with you
Exactly.
people? And he literally says that.
And they're saying, well, where have you been?
Yeah,
Have you just been taking a little vacation here, and we're down here working?
Struggling.
Yeah. And then, of course, the other three can't say anything. Where did you guys go? We can't say. Oh, and so they go to the heights and hear the Father, and the other 9 are left with the demon down in the valley. Holy cow.
Yep.
What a contrast.
And the ones who want to stay, Jesus says, I got to fulfill.
Yes.
I got to go. My task.
Yeah. I always think of the Transfiguration as like a mini vacation, and you come back to work.
Oh, yeah.
And some don't even know that you left.
Yeah.
And the work is piled up. I mean, there was nobody did it for you while you were gone.
Yeah.
And this boy and the demon are the work that's piled up. And in fact, they're crabby and saying, "Where have you been?"
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we don't even want to hear about your vacation.
No, just get this done.
No more pictures.
Yeah, exactly. No more pictures. We once had a young lady who had gone on a very long trip over to our house, and she had her phone out, and Holly innocently asked, "Do you have any pictures from your trip?"
Oh, God bless her.
I glanced after about 20 of them. I glanced, and there was a counter. There were over 400 pictures. And I left Holly to see all of them. I just walked away. I'm a very bad person. I did not ask.
I was going to say, you asked, sweetheart.
Oh, it was a long journey.
But your wife was so sweet.
She is so nice.
She sat through all 400.
She did.
Plus.
I sat through the ones that literally of pictures of suitcases on the bed being filled. And I said, this is going to take a long time. Why? Don't ask. So it makes you cautious. All right. So I think we did well on 17.
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Heaven and earth, they're not going to disappear. No. Until every little nuance of the law is done.
Yep.
All right.
Every jot and tittle.
Jot
I think
and tittle,
the King James. This is every iota and dot.
Dot. Exactly.
Everything.
So every tiny thing, it will surely not depart from the law. So if you are hoping to get away with something, it's not going to work. No.
There's no excuse, right? So I can't say, and I think I mentioned this before, the gentleman who said to me, I know I'm going to heaven. I'm a really good person. If I don't make it, God's going to be really lonely up there.
Oh, if I don't make it, nobody's making it.
It's the rich young ruler syndrome.
Right. I'm way at the top.
Yeah.
So
nobody's perfect, but I'm about as close as you're going to get.
Yeah, I got a picture of that. So he's really halfway there already.
Oh.
Halfway to heaven.
I think
that's an old Bruce Springsteen line. Halfway to heaven.
Halfway to heaven.
Yep.
This guy was a little more.
That's true. I'm sure. So if you have that thought and such, so is this good news that nothing is going to be taken away? I mean, we've got the law in all its nuances. Everything will happen, and we're not going to see this heaven and earth go away. Little revelation.
Yep.
I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
Yep.
For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away.
Gone.
So I don't get the new until the old is gone, and the old isn't gone until all of this is fulfilled.
Both 17 and 18 have law and gospel, right? Oh, In 17, know, I'm not getting rid of the law.
But
18, not a jot or a tittle, but I've come to fulfill them and accomplish it.
right, and with the promise that when I've done that, a new
Now-
heaven and a new
now
earth,
everything's
come on
different.
in. Yeah, now we've got it. So now this tells us we put all our hopes on one.
Yep.
Because while we've been talking about the many, 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 come on, there's only one hope. We it's like we should have a big stack of chips. Not that I play poker, but a big stack of chips, and just say, I'm
All
putting
in.
it all in right here,
This is
right
it.
here. This is it.
Feel comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. But all it on someone else's hand.
Sure.
Yeah. Ooh, that could be fun. No, I'm just thinking. And,
Don't make sure it's not mine.
No. And we put it all on someone else's hand. That was good for my phone. We put it all on somebody else's hand as long as the one with the nail marks in it.
Yeah, there you go.
Little play there.
There
Yeah,
you
that
go.
could be kind of.
Yeah, you got to see the hand.
Oh, that's nice.
Got to see the hand.
You got to see the hand that you're betting on.
Yep.
We could do this all day.
I think.
That's not bad.
No.
No, that's that's you wonder if after 40 plus years, if there's an analogy we haven't used yet. But I know I've never done that one.
No.
That would be a new one. Because every so often I worry, ooh, did I do this?
Yeah,
But then the big question is, with these people, and that's the good news of being on the road a little bit.
This is almost as good as Rev Rosso's book, Gospel Handles.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
book.
See, I love that book.
Yeah, well, you actually knew the man.
I did.
Yes,
I did.
didn't.
He used one of my sermons in one of his books,
Shazam.
but I'm not sure if it was a "Don't do this." or,
Yeah, right.
I saw him not too long ago. He's going to be 100 years old,
No.
and he said, "You do know I used one of your sermons in my book," and I
Fantastic.
wanted to make sure. I said, "Was it a don't do this?"
And did you get a footnote byline or something?
No.
Oh.
So I sued him. No. He's a wonderful man.
No, I'm sure
Dear.
I've
Love
heard that,
him.
and
Love him.
Steve Smith said that too. Our beloved
Sure.
mutual friend. I believe he
Yeah.
worked with Rev Rosso. Good guy. And if our friends don't know, homiletics or preaching prof at St. Louis for a very long time.
Oh, long time.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I think his books on preaching are kind of the CPH books still
Yeah.
on preaching.
Yeah, they are.
And
Yep.
Kemmerer's.
Yep.
What was Kemmerer's book? Anyway, it's a gold
Gerhard
medal. It means
Aho had one.
yes,
too.
the Lively Skeleton.
Yep,
Yeah, I
yep.
have that too. Okay, anyway, here we go. And so far, they haven't asked us to write one, so I don't know.
I got to read a book before I write
I'm
one.
checking the mail every day. All right. So we do have hope that despite the enormity of this challenge and the detail of it, he's positioned himself as the one. When I get that done, heaven and earth, new heaven and earth will come.
Yeah. I like 19
Oh, okay.
is
We're
kind of
moving
a,
on.
in the meantime,
Oh, true.
right? So therefore, whoever relaxes one of these, right, one of the
Right.
least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. I think
Isn't that good?
we had these 10 commandments, but then they added over 600.
You're right. The Pharisees.
Right? So I think
Yeah.
it was like 613 rules
like
or
that,
whatever.
yeah.
My feeling, and we look at them and say, oh, they just kept piling more on
Yeah.
people. I've come to think they did these to relax the commandments.
How so?
If I can't work on the Sabbath,
Yeah.
right? Tell me what I can do. Oh, you're allowed this many steps.
Right.
Oh, then I can get away with it.
Yes.
Right? So they added all these stipulations on so they could obey all the commandments,
Right.
make themselves righteous. So really what they were doing was getting away from the heart of the commandment, the spirit of the commandment,
Right.
and they tried to put flesh on it
Mm-hmm.
so that I can see. And then I don't want to get too far ahead, but in the future, coming weeks, we're going to hear, you heard it said,
Oh, but I say.
and I think Jesus is putting commandments back, the spirit of it,
Yes.
where it belongs. So I really think by saying, okay, you can do this, but you can't do that, we're gonna identify ways that you can carry them out. In
Right.
other words, we're going to relax it.
Exactly. And it also takes away, you said, the heart or the spirit.
Yeah.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Boom. Okay, just stop right there.
It's perfect.
Perfect. Now I lay that on your heart and mind.
Yep.
All right. But if you're saying, well, that could be a lot.
Yeah.
And then you run to a Pharisee and say, so how do I do it? And how do I, as you said, what do I get to do?
Yeah.
So instead of being a matter of my heart and my mind, it's a simple reminiscence of, the Pharisee said I could do this, but I can't do that. So I'm good.
Yep.
I don't need to go to God. I went to a Pharisee.
Yep. Just make sure when you go to the synagogue every Saturday,
Yeah.
don't walk more than
Right.
X amount of steps.
Right. And don't juggle something, or there's all kinds of amazing.
And I'm by
rules.
golly, I'm in the worship. I can nod off because I'm there.
I mean, there is all you need.
That's all you needed.
Right. No change of heart.
Nope.
Mind. Nope. I'm there.
Got my card punched.
I was going to say, and let it be known. I mean, somebody sees me here.
Yeah.
That's important.
So
Okay.
for so long I thought, man, they just keep heaping burdens. But I really think all these little nuances were about making it easier for me to follow the commandments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, and the burden and responsibility is on somebody else.
Yes.
If God said you got it wrong, hey, it wasn't me.
Yep.
The Pharisee told me to do that, or not to do that, or I could do that. Go take it up with him.
Yeah.
Because that's not me.
Yep.
The other one I like about this one is if you call one of these commands the least, that's the least, that's the littlest one, then guess what you're going to be called? You'll be the least.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
If you take down one of my directives and say, that doesn't really matter anymore, then you're going to get the same status.
Yeah.
You're the least.
Which is
in the
interesting
kingdom.
because later on, one of the legal experts is going to come up to Jesus and say, which is the greatest commandment?
Yeah.
Which means there has to be a least.
At least, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And of course, I'm going to go for the big one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you think that a modest approach would be say, can you give me the smallest one?
Yeah.
I'm struggling with any of them, but can I just latch onto a little one? And
What
I
would
don't
it be
know.
for you? Coveting?
Well, you could do that.
Because that's just
Yeah.
a mind thing. And it's like, I didn't
Right.
steal it.
And if we just have a view of every so often, we have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of people who don't.
Yeah.
So really, I can't resist.
Right.
Waylon, no. We got to go back.
Yeah.
Lukenbach, Texas.
Oh.
Waylon and Willie.
And the boys.
The boys. 4-car garage, and we're still building on.
Yeah.
Baby, it's time we
to
go
get
back
to the
basics of life. Right. Yeah. No. And so
Did we almost harmonize there?
I know, we are close. Yeah, right. Like Waylon and Willie are worried that we're going to take over. We're going to start being a cover band for Waylon and Willie.
Want to
Wouldn't that be
cover us?
great? Wouldn't that be great? We're going to go down to your garage, and
yeah.
at first we'll keep the door closed.
Of course
the
we will.
garage door. But
Yep,
come
yep.
next summer, we'll be good
We're
enough.
ready.
Yeah, then we'll have the door
Yeah,
open.
we'll be,
and to the eternal embarrassment of Diana, we'll be the.
And we might make appearances at the Cedarburg Farmers Market. You
Oh,
never
can
know.
we go there?
You never
Okay,
know.
yeah. Or the Saukville in the Legion every Sunday morning. They've got the farmers market
they do.
at the Saukville.
Yeah.
We could start there and work our way up. Yeah.
Dreams.
Yeah. Coming soon to a fantasy of our own. I don't know that I ever really wanted to be a garage band.
No.
But anyway, all right. So, one of the least. If you determine one of my words, my commandments is the least, then let me tell you the judgment I'll have on you.
Yeah. Because you're taking my place.
Right. You become the judge of my words.
Yep.
Let's put this in the right perspective.
Yeah.
That's a pretty frightening one. You had said earlier we've got a law gospel here. 19. It's pretty much law.
It is.
Through and through.
And it really it follows what Revelation says. Whoever adds or detracts.
Right.
Right?
You don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be that guy.
No.
But if you're making certain things least,
Right. Aren't you doing that?
you're doing that.
Right.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
not just writing another book in the Bible or crossing out a
Right.
phrase in the Bible.
Right.
It's saying I get to determine what in the Bible is appropriate,
Right.
what isn't, what's most important, what's
right.
least. Yeah.
It'd be like the vanity. Our friends probably can see that you have the Lutheran Study Bible in front of you. It would be the vanity and foolishness of saying, the stuff on top in the red letter, the Jesus words.
Yeah.
No. You want to spend your time with the notes on the bottom. I'm all for the notes on the bottom.
Yeah, because you wrote some of them. So
well, there's that. But wouldn't that be foolish if you said, you know what, let's go to these because I'm sure they are richer, deeper, whatever. Again,
Yeah.
I'm all for them. But if you got one place to stay, I'm saying stay on the red words.
Hang out
And if you don't understand them, yes, certainly go look at the notes. But really pray to the one who said this and say just humbly, Lord, I am the least in the understanding. But
Yeah.
can you give me some insights what you're talking about? But and then I know now verse 20 is coming, and
Yep.
I think in the time we have, we can do this. We can do this. Is that now your righteousness is greater than the scribes and Pharisees, and if it's not, you will surely never enter the kingdom. Now that's dooming. But here's the image I sometimes use in class. We read that verse, and then I pick somebody and say, at that point, don't you want to say to him, who does that? I mean, who is ever going to be that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the answer is Jesus.
Jesus.
And it's got to be.
This is a very humbling,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Because I'm looking at it would be if we heard today, unless you're as righteous as Billy Graham was,
Oh,
right?
in my dreams.
Or Dan Pavla.
No.
If you don't meet these Mother Teresa,
There you go.
you got
Pick
all of
your
these.
saint. Yeah.
Pick your saint. And I look and say, oof, well, that's pretty humbling.
Because I'm not there.
I'd like to be.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm just-
even if
it
from
just-
this moment on,
Yeah.
I can't undo all that.
No.
No.
But, and I think this is kind of an introductory for what's coming.
Yeah.
But it humbles me so much that I have to say, I can't stop listening.
Right.
What?
Because
This can't be the end of it.
no, and our friends, next week we're going to dive into. Did you notice that smooth segue into next week?
That was
I
real
thought
good.
that was slick.
Yeah.
Then after we say, who can do that in verse 20,
Yeah.
and it sounds impossible, then he's going to, in the next verses, he's going to say, now I know you've heard it said.
Yep.
But I say to you.
Yeah.
Now it's going to, at first again, seem like that I'm really doomed.
It is.
So again, I'm going to say, well, who can do this? And the
He's-
answer is going to have to always
It's
be
always
Jesus.
He turns it up a
Jesus.
notch in our
Yeah,
coming.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Lest we ever imagine, I can do this. Give me enough time.
Yep.
I can do this.
Yeah.
No. No. You'll just be
Because
in
I've
your-
tried doing these.
Yeah, exactly. I'm beating my head against a rock, and it's not getting
gonna-
better.
Nope.
And so we're about there. Well, I think we did 17 through 20. Not too badly.
I'm pretty impressed.
I am.
And we were able to squeeze in Willie and Waylon.
Exactly.
And the boys.
And the boys. And I did have George Strait ready, but I'll stay. I'll keep George later.
That was to
And you
counter
didn't
my
get-
Dietrich Bonhoeffer.
But you didn't get to use Bonhoeffer.
I didn't use
Okay,
Bonhoeffer.
well.
Yeah. So.
We're like a Civil War artillery battle. We're standing on the other side. I'm seeing those guys. Yeah, well, we got our stuff here too.
Yep,
Just
yep.
waiting for one of us to
Bonhoeffer versus George Strait.
My money's on George. George's still alive, kicking and worth a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, bless them all. And we say thank you to our friends.
Yep.
And we enjoy your being with us. And there is good news coming in the future verses. I know these sound a little daunting.
Nope.
But, certainly don't despair because the end result is there is one whose righteousness exceeds all others. He didn't keep it as a selfish treasure to himself.
Nope.
But he gave it to the world, and his name is Jesus.
Great. Next week, now you gotta show up.
Right. Please do.
Until then, God bless.